delighted to say that the Dundee manager, Tony Docherty, is joining us on the show tonight. He's waiting in the wings. Let's bring Tony in now. There he is. Never a day off, Tony, eh? International break. What international break?
What international? That's what I get told as a manager. You can never have a day off, and you can never have an off day.
Absolutely right. But listen, today must be a good day, especially after yesterday. There was so much to like about that performance and that win.
Yeah, I was really pleased with the effort shown by the boys. I thought it was an important game. You know what derbies are like. And getting into it, I felt we did a really good training week. After the disappointment of the Hearts game, I was really disappointed then because I thought, we took a brilliant travelling support through there when we got the game to 1 each. I thought it was there to win. So it was important we picked ourselves up. So we had a good training week. And the Monday we actually had a day, Michael, just like yourself, with a golf day to get the boys together. And then with a Tuesday, Wednesday training, with Thursday off and a 2-day lead into the game. And I felt, that way, getting into the game, knowing how big it was, it was a massive game. The Dundee United manager has said that as well, biggest game of the season. And I just felt, sometimes, the boys are in a good place. I thought we attacked the game really well. We were front foot right for the first minute, I thought. And in the first half display, I thought we were outstanding and we managed to see the game through. So, yeah, it was a good, really important win and hopefully something that can now springboard for us going on to the rest of the season.
Just watching on, Tony, it felt to me like your players just gave everything from the first whistle. Every duel mattered in the contest, just like the last derby. But it's like they were playing for, I'm not saying their own futures, but the top flight future, certainly. They completely understood what was on the line.
I think the boys will tell you that. Anytime you play in a derby, but be it the Dundee, the Edinburgh, or the Old Firm, it is about winning duels. And for me, it's very much about kind of simplifying the game for the players and making sure they focus on winning their duels. And I think you could see that. That's our fourth, derby this season. We've won 2, drawn 1 and lost 1. And I think this one in particular, we won the last one in the cup tie, but this one, the way we attacked the game, I could see there was a real intent for the players. And you're right, that's the way we dressed it up. I simplified the game to make sure it was duels, make sure it was winning your battle, getting it wide, getting crosses in the box and being set behind the ball. And I think we executed that really well. We had a game plan as well in terms of how to get in against Dundee United defensively, and I thought we executed that really well. And I was really pleased that the boys got that reward for their performance.
Tony, I'm sorry, Darrell. I was just going to say, that first half performance in particular, is that as happy as you'll have been all season long, perhaps?
There's been good performances this season, Mikey. There's the 4-1 against Hibs, for example, at our place, the 4-1 against Motherwell. There's been really good performances, and in terms of goal scoring, I think we're still the third highest goal scorers in the league. So I've been really pleased with a lot of the performances. We've had a blip, there's no doubt about it. The month of February was really, really bad for us, and it really quite a turbulent time. But in terms of performance levels, I would say I was looking for a 90-minute performance off the boys, and I was looking to get a real foothold in the game. And I thought when I seen them, at the start of the game and attacking it and really getting a toe to every second ball and winning every first header, it did please me. It really pleased me. I thought the boys took on all instruction and they showed that there was a real desire to win the game.
And Tony, sorry, see obviously the Hearts game where it ended up 6-0 and how that clearly had an impact on the team. I presume you're obviously looking at this game and hoping and expecting that can have the reverse effect in terms of galvanising and giving the team a whole lot of confidence with the experience and quality that's back in the side now.
Absolutely, you're right to say that, Michael, because I think getting into that Hearts game, the 6th, we were in good form at that time, but as I said to you guys, he's covered a few of the games, we were still really struggling in terms of injuries. The injuries I've had this season too, and it's not just normal, it's the experienced players I've had, most of the time. Trevor Carr, Joe Shaughnessy, Clark Robertson, Jordan McGee, Antonio Portales, Scotty Fraser, Ziad Larkech, and these are players that would grace any top 6 team in the Premiership, I think, and we've had to do without them, and we were getting by, but we've been doing relatively well. I thought the month of January was decent, getting up into that game. We just beat Dundee United in the Cup. We were due to go down and play Celtic, and I don't know if you remember, the game was called off because of wind.
Yeah.
So we then went into the next game against Hearts, and I described it as an anomaly. I didn't see it coming, but when I reflect on it now, it was a knock-on effect for, that lack of experience in the side would get by, and we went a wee bit of tailspin, from that. I've got to say, that the rearranged game with Celtic on Wednesday after the 6-0, and we lost that one as well. And then we managed to beat Airdrie in the Cup, but with another 3 losses in that. And really that month of February, you know, it set us back a little bit, but I'm really pleased to say now, and I think you've seen it in yesterday's performance, my captain get man of the match, that experience is coming back. And the downside of that result at Hearts, you know, hopefully we can see the upside and the springboard from the result of the weekend, because hopefully going into international break, there'll be more coming back. This experienced ones, your Clark Robertsons, you know, your Larkechi's back now as well. So hopefully we can see that, and it can, you know, it can affect our season going forward now.
Tony, you said after the game that you've seen a kind of weakness in Dundee United. You worked on a plan from the left. A couple of goals came through there. You look at the Hearts goal, that came from that left-handed side. That must please you to see that you're actually working hard on something within training and now seeing it in games.
Well, you know yourself, boys, there's nothing more rewarding, you know, than you do. And as I say, with a good training week, you know, with the important at the start of the week, we got the boys together and got that mentality, that spirit back again. But in terms of the technical and tactical things you work on in training, when they come off, and it was something like every opponent you play, you identify strengths and you identify weaknesses and hope to exploit those weaknesses. And it's something that, you know, we'd looked at a few things. I wouldn't give away everything we'd looked at, but certainly that, you know, getting into wide areas and trying to exploit their back post area, where Jordan McGee's such a, you know, he's just got a knack of doing that. He's in the right area and from right back, and we managed to do that amongst other things we did in the game particularly well. So it is, it's really rewarding when you work in something all week and you see the fruits of that, and a game as big as that.
That was Alan, by the way. He was giving you the opportunity there, Tony, to give yourself a real slap in the back. Not many managers ever take that. It's all
I like teeing it up. That's what I'm all about, just teeing it up for people.
He's sharing the love. Listen, I know in the end, Tony, it's 3 points. And that was absolutely essential. But to go and do it at the home of your rivals for the fans as well, I guess that dressing room at the end of the game must have been rocking. I mean, how do you sort of make sure that everyone is aware it's just one game? This is a journey this season as well.
We said that to the players at the end of the game, but you know, a derby, the boys will take a derby is so important. You can gain so much. It can be more than 3 points. You know, you can gain real momentum. You can gain that spirit. And listen, I live here. I know the kind of pulse of the city here, and it's a really hotbed for football up here. And the derby is so important to so many people. So even the feeling about the city today, you know, there's a real positive reaction from that. So we've got to use that as a team, you know, as staff and as a playing staff as well. We've got to use that. You've got to use everything now going into this business end of the season. There's 8 games to go. As a reference there, we were doing okay, but we had a blip, you know, a turbulent period. And now hopefully coming through that and being at the other side and having my captain particularly back. You know, I've had 2 captains I've lost this season. You know, my captain, Joe Shaughnessy, obviously out through injury, and my captain, Luke McCowan, taken away from me. You've seen the effect of Celtic not having their captain yesterday, and that can affect a team as well. So, but now, you know, I'm no one for making excuses and looking back. It's all about looking forward, and you're right to say that. The dressing room at the end of the game was really positive, and once I'd brought them kind of back down to earth a wee bit, it was now to make sure that it was full focus on, it's 3 points, it's a good win. We've now put ourselves in a position where 5 ahead of St Johnstone, 1 behind Kilmarnock, and just tucked in 4 points behind St Mirren and Ross County. So we've put ourselves in a position where we can go and affect it now, but it's down to us. You know, I don't look at any other results. I look at what we can do as a squad, and now particularly, as Michael said, with that experience coming back into the squad that I've really missed this season through injury, then hopefully we can make it a really positive end to the campaign.
Tony, see you've touched on the captain Joe Shaughnessy there as well, and I'm intrigued to find out what is he like. We know what he's like in terms of his importance on the park. Defensive instinct, winning headers. You spoke that last week you were away playing golf, you were trying to get the team together. Is he somebody that pulls the team together, or is he more somebody that leads by example on the park, or is he a bit of both? He's
both, Mike. It was my first signing when I got the job, you know, for a reason. You know, I worked with Joe as a young player at Aberdeen, and I know his mentality and I know his leadership qualities, and it's something that, you know yourself, you either are a captain or you're not, and he's been a captain at various other clubs, St Mirren and St Johnstone, for a while, and he's just the type of individual that he's inspirational. I've got to say that, and even the way he's attacked his rehab and get back earlier, he sets standards every day. You guys will know the best captains you've played or you've been a captain. It's setting standards every day and making sure you never fall below the standard and don't allow anybody to fall below that. And it's hard to maintain that. You know, we came in and did the exact same. It was fantastic when I gave him that role and drove the team on, set standards on a daily basis. You know, was really, really instrumental. And it's important, you know, all through my career, even, for example, being at St Johnstone with Derry and all that, and Aberdeen, you think your captains like your Jody Morrises at St Johnstone, your Graham Shinnies, you know, guys that when you walk out the dressing room, you know the message is going to be carried on to the players, and that's what Joe Shaughnessy is at Dundee Football Club, and that's why he's been missed so much. And it's no coincidence, in a big performance like that yesterday, he picks up the Man of the Match award when they threw 4 strikers at him. You know, they ended up 4 centre forwards had a go at him, and he managed to see them all off. And it was a great day for him, because I've seen how hard he's been working. But it's hard when you're not playing to have that effect that you have. But when you're back in a team like he came on the second half against Motherwell, and I think you see, you know, the significant role that he plays.
Standards, by the way, I try and set them every week in this show, Tony. It's just really hard with these two and Michael on a Monday night to get them going. But
I don't envy you, mate. I don't envy you at all.
Darrell, especially with his self-portrait behind him. Quite liking that one.
I'm happy you mentioned that, Al. I'm
zooming in on that
now. He's got to run out of rooms in this house at some point. He must have some mansion, Tony. It's a different room every week.
I was desperate to get that in.
We're in the West Wing at the moment, aren't we?
Yes, exactly that.
We're in a different house.
It's a different house. Oh my word! Hey, stop it! Right, listen. Before you go, let's just have a look back at the highlights, because we've got all of the goals, all the key moments in the game. It was 4, Tony, but just talk us through some of this, because you know it could have been more. I mean, it was inches from more.
Aye. Again, here's something that would work. Josh Mulligan's such a powerful runner, and as a number 8, he made that run numerous times. Unfortunate there, but Lyle, I thought the 2 of them playing as number 8s were fantastic. Just perpetual motion and good quality as well. Here. Listen, don't start me. You're offside.
Those ones they are.
It's ridiculous. But let's move on. Well,
there's
when have you ever
like
scored?
anyways,
when you ever scored a goal with an elbow? But anyway, so
exactly.
and this is something that we did work on, exploiting that weakness at the back post and overlapping runs in the wide left area. You know, to try and get us in. And again, you know, I thought that how Simon missed this, I don't know, but it was just an onslaught at this stage. You know, we were continually in their half, and our forward players and Tiff. You know, Adewumi, Simon, and the 2 number 8s, Mulligan and Cameron, really didn't affect it. And we Tiff, you know, gets into good areas. It's a mistake for the goalkeeper, I know that, but you know, it's a good strike, and it just was the way the game was going all the time. This was one wee bit. It was the one mistake we made in the game. The 2 wide players changed without communicating to the rest of the team, and they managed to get out for right fullback and got it to middle. And it's a brilliant finish for the boy, brilliant. But again, we picked up, and there's Josh making that run again, and what a finish with Jordan McGee. But again,
I wish as a fullback I had that.
On.
Some finish.
Go on, Tony. Alan was just saying as a fullback he wished he'd scored a few like that. But go on, continue, please.
Aye, I remember. No, this year I thought we loused have filled him here, and Jordan's just tucking in there to, you know, try and help his defenders. But you know, it takes a deflection, and at that stage, you know, it's important that then make sure we see the game out. There's Joe again from a long throw, nearly scoring for the second phase of that. And this was the most pleasing bit for me, you know, seeing all the attacking play and the clinical way that we played. But you know, we've been up for a lot of criticism this year in terms of defending, and I thought we defended well. We limited them to these chances that you're seeing here, and here just the battling qualities again. Our 3 against their 3 are wanting it more. I think Simon into a good area, and the boy puts them down. And I thought it was really fitting. You know, the last kick of the ball goes to Simon Murray, and he scores the winner in the derby. And
he loves it, Tony.
And does
he absolutely loves that fixture, doesn't he? In the big moments like that.
He does. And listen, it's the reason why I went to such lengths to sign Simon Murray. He's such. You speak about Joe, but he's such an inspirational figure himself, and he's a fan. You know, you can see that. But that kind of.
Tell me, why did he get booked for that?
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Why did he get booked?
A guy.
He didn't even go past the 18-yard box.
I know.
It's embarrassing.
And earlier on in the game, a boy he's just been hit with a missile for the crowd. You know what I mean? He's making a point there, you know. And
yeah.
I agree with you, Mike, but there's no way of reversing it. And I've not looked. That puts him on a wee threshold where it could cost us, you know. So I didn't understand that myself. I never had the opportunity to say to the referee, but you know, I thought it was ridiculous myself.
See with the offside as well. I know you're not going to talk about it, but just as a general thing, Rory Hamilton and I were talking about this, and it's actually, I thought it was Rory's idea, and I think it's not a bad one. But see, when it comes down to somebody's like left toe is offside and it's disallowed, rather than trying to completely rip it up and start again, how about if you even just went with, if that part of the body that is so marginally offside is what touches the ball, then he's offside. But in a lot of cases, somebody's like left toenail is offside, but it's got nothing to do with it. Somebody flicks it on with their head. Their head wasn't offside. No. You know, like, let the game play. Let the goals stand.
I agree with that.
No material effect in the game.
We'll send you the notebook on that later, okay? Can you try and work out what he's talking about here?
No, I agree with him because I mean,
he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I do. I know. And listen, I felt we scored 6 good goals in a derby, and 2 of them were chopped off for me for ridiculous. You know, it's a tactic when there's a goalkeeper's kick for a striker to be in behind to get the defenders looking, and it's marginal, and it doesn't affect. It really doesn't affect the goal and the play that leads up to the goal, and just for me, it's. Listen, I'm not going to let it taint what was a fantastic day, but we scored 6 good goals, I thought.
Yeah. I've said for a long time, Michael Allen, you know, I don't know why they don't just build a margin of error in to these decisions, and it gives you like a 6 inches or something to play with because they're so tight. Sometimes
but then people are just going to say, is it 5 inches? Is it 7? No, but they're just going to open up a can of worms.
If you always built the same margin of error, Alan, and if you always gave whatever it is, 2-3 inches every single time, then But it's so hard to mark, even with VAR that we've got in Scotland with a limited number of cameras at times. It's so hard.
Then they'll just argue sometimes. Over it. I know.
So anyway,
it's rubbish.
It's a thought, and it's been mentioned in other leagues as well. Tony, we're going to let you go in a sec, mate. But just when you look at the fixtures to come, I know you've got some tough games still before the split. I take it you're very much looking up now, looking up the table. Why not?
Well, with that result just makes it a wee bit tighter now. You know, as I say, with a poor run of results. You know, absolutely. But we've managed to get it back. I mean, now we've pulled that together. As I say, we're 5 ahead of St Johnstone, 1 behind Kilmarnock and 4 behind Ross County and St Mirren. And we play St Mirren in one of our 3 fixtures. It's Rangers home, St Mirren home and Hibs away. So, yeah, we're very much looking forward to it now. It's a wee bit of momentum that hopefully we've gained, and with other experienced ones coming back, hopefully it proves pivotal for that business end of the campaign.
Brilliant, Tony. Super stuff. Listen, thanks so much for giving us your time this Monday night. Hopefully you get a wee bit of a break during the international week or so and rest up, and we'll go again.
We'll see. I'll get on that golf course with you, Mikey. Maybe you never know.
Good man. Good stuff. Right, Tony, thank you very much. See you soon. All the very best. Thank you.